Why city birds flee from women faster than men. A scientific mystery, urban wildlife has adapted to coexist with humans, yet new research reveals a surprising and unexplained bias in their behavior. Birds in European cities appear to be more cautious around women than men, maintaining a greater distance before taking flight. While the exact reasons remain unclear, the findings challenge long-held assumptions in ecological research about the neutrality of human observers. The study, a pan-European survey, researchers conducted a comprehensive study across 5 European countries: Czech Republic, France, Germany, Poland, and Spain, to measure the flight, initiation distance, FID, of 37 different bird species. FID is a standard metric in wildlife ecology that indicates how close a human can get to an animal before it perceives a threat and flees. The study focused on common urban birds, including common wood pigeons, carrion crows, and hooded crows, house sparrows, blackbirds, to ensure accuracy. The team employed 8 expert ornithologists, 4 men and 4 women. The researchers were matched for height and wore similar clothing to minimize visual variables. They approached birds in green spaces in a straight line, maintaining eye contact until the birds flew away. Data was collected between April and July 2023, resulting in 2,701 observations. The findings: a consistent gender gap. The results showed a consistent pattern across all species and locations. On average, men could approach birds approximately 1 meter, 3 feet, closer than women before triggering a flight response. This difference was significant enough to suggest that birds are not just reacting to random variables, but specifically distinguishing between the sexes of the approaching human. As a woman in the field, I was surprised that birds reacted to us differently, said Janina Benedetti, an ecologist at the Czech University of Life Sciences, Prague, and co-author of the study. This study highlights how animals in cities see humans. Many behavioral studies assume that a human observer is neutral, but this wasn't the case for urban birds in our study. Why does this matter? This discovery raises important questions for both urban ecology and scientific methodology. Bias in scientific data. Behavioral ecology often assumes that the gender of the researcher does not influence animal behavior. If birds react differently to men and women, past studies may have introduced subtle biases depending on who collected the data. Urban adaptation. It suggests that birds have developed nuanced perception mechanisms to assess human threats, distinguishing between different types of people rather than just human vs non-human. Theories and skepticism. The research team, including lead author Daniel Blumstein from UCLA, admits they do not yet have a definitive explanation for this behavior. However, several theories have emerged. Scent and pheromones. The researchers noted that none of the female participants were menstruating during data collection. Since body odor and scent compounds can change during this cycle, this variable was not fully tested, leaving open the possibility that scent plays a role. Gait and movement. John Marsluff, a professor emeritus in ecology at the University of Washington, suggested that gait, the way a person walks, might be the key cue. If I had to guess, I would agree with the supposition that gait is an important cue the birds are using, Marsluff said. Despite these theories, skepticism remains. Marsluff pointed out a logical puzzle. If birds learn to fear certain human behaviors through experience, they should encounter threatening men and women equally in urban environments. Therefore, there is no obvious evolutionary reason for them to fear women more. We just need more research here to better understand why this effect was so consistent, Marsluff noted. What comes next? The authors emphasize that this study is preliminary. To isolate the cause, future research must separate variables that were previously grouped under observer sex. Janina Benedetti suggested that follow-up studies should test individual factors independently. Movement patterns, testing if specific walking styles trigger flight. Scent cues, analyzing the impact of body odor. Physical traits, examining how body shape influences bird perception. As co-author Daniel Blumstein joked regarding the complexity of testing movement, perhaps a study resembling Monty Python's Ministry of Silly Walks. Conclusion: while the scientific community awaits further data to confirm the mechanisms behind this behavior, the initial findings are clear. urban birds perceive men and women differently. This discovery not only adds a layer of complexity to our understanding of animal cognition, but also serves as a reminder that human presence in nature is never truly neutral.